Welcome to Season 3 of This Is How My Brain Works, the podcast about living, thriving, and laughing through the ups and downs of neurodiversity. We explore the real stories, the real struggles, and the real strengths that come with thinking differently. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of This Is How My Brain Works. This is the holiday edition. We are coming into the holidays. Jason was just mentioning how you can just feel it in the air. It's like it's here. Do you feel it? And then it's just kind of like it's just going to be a whirlwind, and we're going to wake up January 2nd. To kick us off, Krista has a story she'd like to share, and then we will all share based on her share, and so on and so forth.
Ad infinitum.
I am joined by Sarah Hines and Jason Rudofsky. Krista Gano is going to lead us off. There we go.
So I am really excited to do this episode only because I think it is really needed that we talk about it. And I think that there can be a lot of shame around this idea that holidays can be hard. And I don't mean hard in the sense where I know people sometimes say like holidays are hard. But this is a little bit different, I think, when you've got some spicy stuff happening in your world. And I wanted to tell the story of when as a young parent, when my kids were little, I think you have this idea that you've got to do all of the things for the kids, right? All the things. You got to do the things for the kids. And when Cade, when the oldest, who is the other ADHD person in our family, there was a point in time where probably when they're so old that they have opinions, that we had a thing in our family going back generations that you open one gift on Christmas Eve. So you go to service, you open one gift on Christmas Eve, blah, blah. Well, there were a couple gifts there that were sort of split up to be a whole gift, and they were about Pokemon cards. And so there was like a binder, a card, all of it. They were separate gifts. And Cade opened up one piece of them, but the autistic part of him got so worried that he wasn't going to get anything else that he had on his list that it became a ginormous meltdown. And that year, I remember sitting on the stairs after putting them to bed and just sobbing. I didn't, it's like you work so hard as a parent to provide this, this great night for them or whatever. Now, fast forward through the years, when we've traveled to go do Thanksgiving with family or whatever, Kate is often, will participate in part of it and then barricaded in the bathroom to get some respite for other parts of it. And so we've really had to tailor or change all of these traditions to sort of help the nervous system piece happen in a way that they can participate in the holiday without being overwhelmed. And now that they're older, I mean, things have just set a little bit more. But like for me, everyone has all the holiday parties. I can't do them all. I just can't. It's too much for my nervous. It takes me so long to recover from a party that I can't do those things. And so I just I thought it was really important for us to throw out there that these are challenges that we're having to manage, and that it's okay, and to talk about what it might take to pull out of one of those things, or to soothe your nervous system in the moment while you're at an event, or if you're at a family. And that doesn't even talk about the family losing their minds when everybody's together, which is a whole other thing. So I just wanted to throw it out there and see if we could provide some tips so that we can all go into the holidays maybe taking a little bit more off the plate, or just acknowledging ahead of time what our sensory needs are, so that we might be able to have an additional layer of enjoyment this year, instead of just walking around going like, it's not my bag, I don't like it, which is what I have been doing the last few years. So throwing it out.
It is hard. I don't know if like the holiday season is getting harder, or if I'm getting older and more salty about it, but like I do have this feeling that comes up where it's like, where I get angry at the culture of it and the, whether you want to call it like the consumerism piece of it, or like all of these idyllic posts and movies and things that it's just like, I mean, we're not working from a place of an advantage. I mean, it's like Krista, like you're saying, you have to navigate this thing perfectly, and then it is hard because it's a special time that you want to have with your families and have this close thing, but then there the meltdowns that happen over the certain things. You feel, yeah, you feel heartbroken because you feel like you're disappointed in your kid, but then you're also pissed off at your kid for being an ungrateful little brat, and look at all the things that you have and you got, and you're gonna fixate on this thing. And you just sit there going like, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Every
Why are we
year,
making this,
every
yeah,
year.
every year? Why do we make it so hard? And so I get there are periods of time where I get just pissed off and like, next year we're all going to somewhere, and that's gonna be the thing.
No gifts.
We're
Yeah.
not dealing with trying to like do the perfect holiday season itinerary. And then yes, then you mix in the nervous system piece, where if your kids are highly sensitive, on the spectrum, neurodivergent. I mean, then they're not getting that downtime they need to recharge and just kind of step away. So they're just burning themselves out, and you're just kind of like, what can you kind of integrate? I mean, can you start integrating like family traditions? This is when we all like
Go to their separate rooms.
goes to their separate bathrooms and do this is bubble bath time. Everybody chill out.
You get the green bubble bath, you
Yeah.
get blue, red.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, it is hard. Yeah. So I have the 12-year-old and the 6-year-old, and so it's they're both having different experiences, and um so
Yeah,
who's
and
go
kind
ahead,
of
Sarah.
all on top of all of that, it's the season when you're supposed to be grateful. So there's this wicked shame spiral of, oh, fartin' fig Newtons, I'm supposed to be grateful for this, and I want to run and scream. And so Krista had said before in our pre-pod meeting, we should suggest hacks for how we handle it. And my first two hacks, one was go to your room and scream in your pillow, and the other was just boycott. I mean, and those are not real hacks. What does work for me in these moments is, and at least this past two holiday seasons have been post starting this podcast, it's taking those deep breaths. It's re-regulating my nervous system, even when potentially the other neurodivergent people in my house are not. But some of the overarching stuff that we're all dealing with is that our nervous system is being bombarded. And some of those impacts are things like candy. Like, so we're eating a ton of candy, or maybe the kids are eating a ton of candy. That kind of makes things go crazy. We're eating potentially at other people's houses where either the kids don't like that, or they're not used to it, or there's allergies that are hidden. Like for me, I am really sensitive to all the dyes, and I especially was as a kid. And so you'd go to someone's house and you wouldn't know if there was red number 40 in the cranberry sauce that you're eating. And then 30 minutes later, I'm dysregulated from it. So there's stuff like that that we can't control that's happening. And, then the other thing being that sometimes the meals don't happen on a time schedule. So we've got some hangry people. All of these kind of coalesce to create some meltdowns. So I guess for me, the best hack is acknowledging that this can be overwhelming, taking a deep breath, and trying to lean away from the shame that, oh, I've ruined another holiday because I wasn't grateful, because I wasn't happy and joyful the way that we're told that we're supposed to be. And that's my last point. the holidays feel like a huge cultural masking. Everybody's masking to have this experience that's typical, that's being shown now on social media, but even before that was shown in the movies. And none of us really maybe feel it. It's this facade that's happening that behind the shadows, the feelings don't match up with what's happening. And that disconnect for me as an autistic person is really not okay. That lying is what it feels like. My sense of justice gets, again, so what I've been doing is I just take a break. I remember what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's, enjoying the company of people I love. And sometimes the people that I love, it's just me in my room under the covers screaming.
At your pillow.
Yeah. So I don't know if that helped anyone. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's huge. That's a good take on it.
I don't have any hacks. There's no hacks. I just know
I
that
have some, but I'd love to, I have some, but I'd love to hear, Jason, I'd love to hear just what you're thinking.
well, it just for me, well, first of all, there's a change in weather. We all know that the change in seasons affects us. And so there's already that burden. It's colder. We have less, hours of sunlight. It just all those factors. That's one for me. Also, those weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, because after Thanksgiving, it's a stretch. It's a 6-week stretch through the holidays between kids and scheduling and when are you getting off of school and the whole, I mean, it's the whole Thanksgiving weekend and what are you doing and who are you going to see? And you talk about, I remember our kids had a lot of food sensitivities, right? So you'd be bringing, a whole meal basically to like a Thanksgiving dinner for them and like making it for them early because they needed to eat. And there was that, well, why do they need to sit down, Mom? I've got to feed him. He's hungry. It's way past his time, and you'd have to explain to all the people why he's, it's a whole thing. You got that whole weekend. And then it just feels like, okay, now I have to gear up for what's coming, right? And so it's just an endless, we've already got this sort of heavy cloudiness to use hanging over us. The weather turns. Sometimes the weather can get really bad. And it just feels like, can we just get through it? Between family and kids and scheduling and where are we going when and sort of the best, I think, is the week between Christmas and New Year's where there's no traffic. It's fantastic. Every day's a Sunday. You're driving everywhere. Just don't go to the malls. Don't go to the malls. And don't go to like whatever that crazy burger place that there's every day there's a line. What is it called?
In-N-Out?
In-N-Out. What the heck? Every single
good.
day.
That's
So
like
don't go there
every
and don't go
day.
That's
don't go to
every day.
any malls or like strip malls or stuff. Those places are packed. But other than that, it's a joy.
I think
I mean,
I think the owners of In-N-Out moved to Colorado, which is why they started growing so much here, and we should mention them over and over again. So
Yeah, really.
But I think there
You know what's
is-
interesting with In-N-Out? I'm sorry, Jason. If
Go
you
ahead.
look, I don't know if they still do this, but at the bottom of the cup, on the inside
Yeah.
and some of their packaging, they're little Bible verses.
There's Bible verses.
Only one. It's 3:14.
Oh, okay. There's
No,
just one.
I thought
Okay.
that they had different ones on different
Oh.
Bible verses on different items. I
I
thought.
think they do. And this is an interesting kind of like fortuitous segue back into like, is it, because all of these holidays were supposed to be rooted in some sort of spirituality, and as Sarah said, gratitude. And we Americans just come and consumerize the shit out of it to where it loses all meaning. And I think that's where it's just like it's kind of lost. That like there's no foundational piece to it. And I'm sure there's some people that are listening that are like, well, we have these rituals and we do this thing every year, and that kind of keeps things grounded and keeps things rooted. And when I think back on holiday seasons, it was really like we would go to this person's house and there'd be an open house and it would be a lot of fun, and we'd go to this open house and it'd be a lot of fun. And but so there's that social, there's the communing, there's the, you know, the gift giving, there are those things, but like, you know, foundationally, what is it that we're doing? And I don't know how to, like, you know, talk about a buzzkill to sit your kid down and go like, this is the true meaning of Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, or, you know, these things is like, this is really what these holidays are supposed to be about. But, and then I had this other thought of like, well, serves you right, Christians, for trying to glom on to a couple pagan things where it's like, you know, where it's like, you know, you think about like the Easter and the Christmas, and these things are very much like they try to like loop into something that someone's already paying attention to, and to spread the word, and that within you know, attract a new audience, so to speak.
Well,
And I
yeah,
don't know.
The Jews never gave gifts on Hanukkah, but the Christians were doing it, and we're like, we're going to top you. We're going to
Yeah,
do it for 8 days.
yeah.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do it because we love the gift giving, and now we're going to do it for 8 days. Top that.
Every day for 8
Every
days.
day.
And then the Christians, we topped that with our Advent calendars. We're going to do it for 25.
Yeah. But there is a calm after Christmas that does feel like people have made it through.
Yeah.
The New Year's coming. We've got a week to sort of, you know, we're through Christmas, we're through that big thing. New Year's isn't really a big thing anymore, except for I feel like I should get organized and really get into this year. Like,
And back to that weather thing you were talking about, the days are starting to get longer again.
yes, and you can see moving. You're like, look, February's a short
gosh.
month. January sucks. If we can just make it through January, February's a short month, and then you're almost into spring.
You guys,
right?
it feels like it's gotten darker sooner this year somehow.
Yeah.
Like I'm out and it's 4:38 and it's already the sun's going down.
Well,
And I was like, and so I look it up on my phone. I was like, okay, because I actually really love it when it gets dark early, because I think this is my, like, I love the coziness and all this stuff. And I don't know if it's harder this year because it's so warm this year that it feels like I'm not, like, I want to be out longer. Like, that's ridiculous when it's
Right.
70
If only it
degrees
was light
outside.
at 8:30 at night because it's 60 degrees.
I know, but the thing that is, so I looked it up. The winter equinox is not until December 21st.
21st.
It's
right.
gonna be dark at like noon. Like, it just feels
Get ready.
well, this is interesting though, because isn't like if we are in tune with what the earth is doing and the orbit of the things, as we as humans being connected to all of this stuff, like, this is, like they say, this is a time for kind of, like you said, Krista, cozying up, being reflective.
what is it? The hygge? What is it? Spelled hygge?
Fun.
Hygge?
It's the Scandinavian word for getting cozy, like in the winter. Hygge, but that's not how you say it.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
but it is about trying to kind of like, it's like a hibernation. It's a reflection, hibernation. And here we are just ratcheting up this huge marketing machine, and everybody get out there, and, you know, so it's like we're trying to go against what the universe or the, you know, the earth is telling us that we need to do.
Because
and then you
humans
jack in a
these
bunch
days
of
don't
sugar.
settle down. They know humans are awake all day, all night. No, really. It's true that we are in tune, or we are in touch. Somebody is all the time. And they can really hone in on that.
Well, I have also found I'm finding a lot of
I mean, it is what
anger.
it is, right?
I'm finding a lot of anger in this idea that you have to give gifts to people who already have what they need. Like, everyone has what they need. No one needs to buy any more crap. No one needs any more plastic. Nobody needs any more things. We are in a space where, if usually many of us, if we need the thing, like, literally, I have a pot that I've lost, that the handle fell off of it. It's the pot set that we've had since we got married, 30 years ago, whatever. And so the Calphalon, it's wonderful. I love it. But the handle finally, after years, has fallen off. I have saved that so that I can have that as a Christmas present. So I burned my fingers last night on the steam, getting the lid off of it without a handle, which is what I've been doing for almost a year. And my husband says, we should get that fixed. And I went, oh, no. please let that be a Christmas gift so that you can give me something I actually need and that we actually need and is on.
I love it when it gets
Amazon
close to
list.
Christmas. If you could think of anything, you just say it. You know what I really want?
Underwear.
Golf club.
Because here's the thing with my brain. First of all, the procrastination is endless as far as gifts, right? Then it's like, how many people do I really need to get gifts for? Then it's like, and thank goodness I have Lisa, because she does great. I mean, she takes care of it. But sometimes it's on my plate, certain gifts. And if someone just told me what they wanted, I rack my brain forever trying to figure out what should I get them. Would they like it?
Like that.
Where are they going to take it back? Are they going to, it's all those things that go through my head. And then next thing you know, I find, and you settle for something. You just settle and you're like,
ridiculous.
I have a hack for this.
Okay, go.
Buy something that if they don't want it, you do.
Oh, but that's a great one if they live around you. But I find that the hardest people to buy for are the rents and often, or the older people in the fam.
What do they need?
Well, exactly. And here's my thing though. I have certain people in my family who are like, please stop. I don't need anything else. Like, we're done. Like, it's okay. Like, let's go have lunch. And then I have certain people in my family that mean a lot to me who, if I don't buy a thing for them, the feelings are so hurt. And so I have to, you got to do the thing. You got to do it, because
if you don't think Santa didn't have, some mental, he told all the kids, look, do me a favor, just write it down for me, put it on a list, because there's no way, you know what I mean? Write a couple things down, keep it short, and just get me your list and I'll see what I can do.
I think that's
what I need. That's what I need. Just give me a list of a couple things.
I think this might be my first year, we'll see, where the nuclear family, us just here, there is this feeling with my kids of like, if you just give me money and I can wait till the after Christmas sales, I get more. So I actually think we're gonna have very few gifts this year, because they've gotten on to I could get 3 shirts instead of 1 if I wait type of a thing. But I will say one of the tips I have for at least those who celebrate Christmas is my family had this thing, again, another tradition and we had 6 kids in our family, so it was a lot, where you would wait and each person would open the gift and everybody would look at them and focus on them, and they would, and they'd sort of, so it wasn't just sort of this mad dash into chaos, but that works for one of my kids and not for the other, because one kid wants to actually stop and really explore, take it out of the package, play with it. And so that kid, it can take them all day long. Christmas is an all day long thing. The other kid is like rip roar and let's get through it. So in order to not have meltdowns, I gotta let them go at their own paces. We've also stopped that tradition of the opening on Christmas Eve. That does not work in our family anymore. My family had those traditions. That just doesn't work in my family.
The one present, yeah.
The one present.
Or just package the 3 items together in one thing and just give them the whole thing at once, and not like.
Well, no, because because you've got to, Jason. Okay.
I don't know. I've never done Christmas.
As a Christmas parent.
Gentle listener, Rudy just drank out of his straw very coyly.
As a Christmas parent, you have to make sure that you all already do it naturally. You have 1 gift every night. As a Christmas parent, you have to make sure that the number of gifts between the kids is roughly the same, or they will notice.
They count. They count.
Right.
Sometimes that means splitting things up into different.
Well, I have a hack for that, but
I see what you mean. To even it out.
Yes,
you had to have 3 to even the, totally.
So what we do is we just wrap as many little things as we can. Like we basically try to break every gift down into like 6 constituent parts.
Good call.
And then what we do is we go one person by one person. I also have one child who the tape comes off ever so gently of each piece.
Save it.
Frankly, I think they're saving the tape as well as the paper, as well as the bows, all of that. And it's become a game to now reuse and see how long we can reuse stuff. But then we each open one at a time. And whoever ends up having like the 6 at the end wins Christmas. And they are the most loved person in the family. And miraculously, that has shifted from person to person, including me. In 2021, I was the most loved person.
2021.
I remember because it was such a good year. And I got all the gifts, and that was like 7 gifts after everybody else. And I was like, oh, I guess I still have another. But if you make I mean, and that probably won't work for everybody, and it definitely won't work for little kids. But once they hit the high school, older ages, it gets to be kind of funny.
What other perks come with that? Like people have to bring you drinks, like whenever you say anything, because
you
you're
have
the
to
most
clean the
loved. You're like,
kitchen.
just make me a plate.
No,
I like
whoever's
turkey. I like a lot of stuffing. I want the
Nope.
gravy on the side.
Nope, that person has to then do all the dishes.
I will say
The
that
most loved person.
once our kids got older, I will say this is my tip, and people may totally disagree with it, but I am not, gift giving is not my love language. Don't care. However, what I do care about is that I raise children who understand that if they eventually have friends or partners who gift giving is their love language, they have learned how to give gifts. So, because I know what it was like to have a husband whose father was not a great, my father-in-law, wonderful man, horrible gift giver. And that has always been a struggle for Greg, just like on what to do. Like it just wasn't modeled to him, right? Like his mom is a great gift giver, but in terms of that, like going out as a guy and getting, like, my mother-in-law always got horrible gifts. Wonderful life, horrible gifts. So so it was just one of those things. What I do with my kids is I give them an amount of money, and they go to the mall and they have to buy me and their father something. So they don't have to, now that they're having jobs or whatever, that money piece will shift. But since middle school, I've been like, here's $50 a piece. You have to go thoughtfully pick out gifts for your parents and for your sibling.
That's good.
And
like
just
that.
so that they can go and do that and know the joy of picking something out on their own, or the frustration of it, quite frankly. And they can think through those things. So that is one thing that we've done through the years.
So this
She's
year,
laughing, and I want to know why.
Well, because I can just see like me dropping Max off at like PGA Superstore. Like, here's $50. Look, I need tees. I need a glove.
That's right.
I need, and find me some balls. See what you can do for
Here,
$50.
I'll just show you.
Yeah.
Here, I'll go in
Right.
with you.
Yeah, never mind. I'll just get it.
come in with
Never
you.
mind.
Right.
I'll just get it.
I'll just get. I mean, it's like
I have a hack,
it's funny.
and this might be more for parents with younger kids, but if you could at all possible just somehow sneaky get them to eat some sort of nutrition like right out of the gate, like shove a hard-boiled egg in their face or oatmeal or just some sort of thing, because if they start with the sugar and then I mean, there's the propensity for like a meltdown is just so much higher. So like, especially if they're not getting, so like and my kids are they're like, I just feel like you have to eat. What's your protein this morning? Did you drink your water? I mean, I know that that's one of the things that, remember, Dad always used to make sure we had protein and water for breakfast. I know that's going to be a thing, but it's just like,
It's
help
so
me,
true.
help you,
Yeah.
help me.
Don't start the kids off with like 2 glazed donuts from King Supers.
No.
That's what your hack is.
Too glazed. And for some reason,
Like, here's a 1 chocolate and 1 sprinkle for each
Yeah.
of you.
And Gus
Don't
is
start
into
the holidays off like that.
coffee. Yeah.
But I also,
So-
and also, I think be realistic. I mean, there's so much pressure, I think, to participate in so many things. And when my kids were younger, I definitely felt it. And when you all were talking about the allergies and all that stuff, my oldest is profoundly allergic to nuts. Peanuts and tree nuts. And the amount of times we would have to go places and like have someone say, oh, no, he can have it. It's just got Nutella in it. Really? No, he cannot have, please stop trying to kill my child on Christmas. Like, You know, and so there's always just feels like there's a lot of pressure and a lot of stuff, and that if you somehow say no, you love people less, or or if you won't travel to go do something. We've been very lucky with Greg in ministry that we can't ever travel at Christmas. You have to come to us because that's his, a busy time for him. But I mean, so it's been nice. But
More than, and you know what else? More than any other holiday, Christmas
Yeah.
and Thanksgiving, nuts, raisins,
Everywhere.
things and everything.
Everywhere.
Throw a nut,
Everywhere.
you got a nut. That has macadamia nuts and walnuts, roasted
Everything,
walnuts.
stuffing,
It's just
like
nuts
random,
everywhere, in
stuff.
everything.
So,
Nuts,
Stuffing
raisins, and
has
nods.
nuts.
but
Chestnuts.
we've gotten to the point, especially like this year, it's just us. Like it's all for all of the holidays, which I'm really excited about. Until my mother calls, oh, she's going to hear this probably, but Mom, don't call me and tell me you're coming like randomly after Christmas. I love you, but don't. But this year is really going to be us. She might, and it would be fine. If my
That's the
mother, my
soundbite
sister
for this
off to come.
episode.
But it's I love having them, but it's the thing that is so cool this year is that we're able to really say, you know what, I don't think we're going to go to that party, or I don't think, like, this year we've decided we're really going to make it super quiet. So we might go look at lights on our own. So when we're done, we can leave or whatever. But I do say I spent so many years that I probably regret in some ways fighting my spicy kids and my spicy own brain and my husband's spicy brain to do everything that was expected of us. And the last few years, I haven't been doing that. And my hatred of this time of year is alleviating. And it's becoming, and now that my kids are older and we're looking at, in the next few years, having more of an empty nest vibe and everything, I'm starting to love this time again. And it's because I started to unabashedly say no to things that do not work for us.
Well, listen, my family is split in a lot of different ways. So being stretched at this time of year and the communication breakdown, who's going where, those traditions that used to be so solid have waned. And I should definitely praise my wife for this. She has aggressively started creating our own traditions where it's our family, just like our ancestors did, our grandparents, our great grandparents. How every year you go to the same thing, same food, same thing, and at some point you do have to make it your own. And so, Krista, to your point, it does feel less stressful knowing that this is who I'm taking care of. Everyone else is taken care of on their end. They're doing their thing. They'll be with them and they'll be with them. That's fine. We don't have to go do this. Our kids don't have to go and feel like, oh God, I don't want to answer these questions from these people and I got to talk to these people. And when they don't have the bandwidth to do so, plus the food, the sensitivities, but knowing that you can make the holiday at your home, whether it's you and one child or you and all your kids or just you and your partner, it does take that stress out of it, where you don't have to worry about, you just say, no, we're not coming this year. We're gonna, this is what we're doing. And you start your own. And I think for the kids too, it takes a ton of stress off of them as well.
And I
So
think
this year we're starting our own tradition in my family this year based on kind of what you're talking about, Jason, and that is to we're going to do skill exchanges. And so each person gets a day where they're going to teach the rest of us something, rather than, we've said no gifts this year other than like food. And we will be doing, so like one of the things is sewing patches on something. Another is going to be kind of knitting back together holes in sweaters. Another one was someone wants to do embroidery. Weirdly, this is all mending of clothes stuff, but maybe we'll even do like watercolor or bookbinding. I mean, there's so many things that each of us knows how to do that we can take the time to teach the people in our family.
I think we've come to solve our own problem that we started with, and it's just like to take take it back, take ownership of it and
Well, and I
don't
and
be
to
victim to it.
and to just add to that next step, because this is what happens with us, right? Is then we get the did I do it right? Is someone going to be mad at me because I'm not showing up? What are they going to talk about me? Whatever. Like, to get back into that space of like, how do we sort of stop the earworm from the decision that we're making to be true to ourselves? I think that there's never any really, good solid way to stop that other than to give yourself grace and I think that once you start to make decisions to keep your nervous system, regulated, and to have these, that you be open. I'm trying to do this a lot lately. It's like, be open to the possibility that the thing that you're doing is actually better than what you've ever done before. Like, routine and habit does not equate it being the best just because you've been doing it. Was that wonderful story about the woman who makes the Easter ham? And she said, so it's a story about this woman. She makes it's through the generations. Grandmothers taught everybody to make the Easter ham. They cut the two ends off the ham every year. And finally, one day the young girl is learning to make the Easter ham. And she says to her mother, "Why do you cut the ends off the ham?" And her mother says, "Well, because my mother did." And, and then we finally get to the originator of the recipe. And the great grandmother says, "Because my pan was too small." So it'd been, it's like these habits that we have, or these traditions that we have, they aren't necessarily always the best just because they've lasted a long time. Like, step into the possibility that maybe the thing you choose to do this year ends up being the coolest thing.
Love it.
Even if it's different.
All right. I think we have solved
Christmas.
we've solved the holiday season for the listeners. We've done it again, folks. But I do want to sign off with a quote from the great Ellen Griswold. "Well, I don't know what to say, except it's Christmas and we're all in misery." She lights up a cigarette to smoke, and Francis calls out from the next room, "Ellen, are you smoking again?" That's the Gen X reference of the
episode. Go team.
Go team. Thanks for joining us. Happy holidays, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. If you like this episode of This Is How My Brain Works, please like, subscribe, and share. This podcast is the creative work of This Is How My Brain Works. It is not authorized for use in training, development, or refinement of artificial intelligence or machine learning systems. Any attempt to copy, analyze, or repurpose this audio for AI training is explicitly prohibited.